Good morning, everyone watching live on BAM YouTube. Let me know in the comments which market you are tuning in live from. We are back in Stamford, Connecticut today to close the week out here at the Tomo headquarters. The hot sheet covers what you need to know about the real estate industry in a 24-hour time period. And on today's hot sheet, I will cover a turning point in housing affordability, according to NAHB, Wells Fargo, HOI, NARS moving study, and young adults on the move. Today is February 10th. 2023, and the hot sheet starts now. Closing out week 5 of the hot sheet. It has gone by really fast. 5 full weeks of doing this show every single Monday through Friday. The markets are open live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Hit the thumbs up, and it's the best way to support this show if you've been enjoying it. And please consider sharing it with one other person that wants a 24-hour look back on the housing market. Let's get right into NAHB's housing affordable study. Okay, affordability hits a record low, but there is a turning point lying ahead, according to NAHB. It's National Association of Home Builders, Wells Fargo Housing Opportunity HOI Index. Just 38.1% of new and existing homes sold between the beginning of October and the end of December were affordable to families earning the U.S. median income of $90,000. That's not single median income. That is families. This marks the third straight quarterly record low for housing affordability since the Great Recession, trailing the previous mark of 42.2% in the third quarter and 42.8% in the second quarter. So obviously rising mortgage rates and all of these other issues, elevated construction costs, lack of skilled workers, they all contributed to this declining housing market and worsening affordability conditions going back to the second quarter of last year, according to NAHB Chairman Alicia Huey, a custom home builder from Birmingham, Alabama. Okay, obviously mortgage rates are anticipated to trend lower this year, and that's where they expect affordability conditions to improve. If you're following this week, what's going on with the 30-year fix and the 10-year, could certainly argue that it's not baked into the cake that we're going to have certainty around a dropping mortgage rate. I'm not happy about that, but I'm just looking at the data, and it's pretty obvious that it's not a guarantee that mortgage rates go into those mid fives. We're all rooting for that. We certainly want to see that. But this week proves it out, where we've been consistently closer to 6.5 than we were from last Thursday's 5.99 mortgage reading. We want the 10-year to drop. It's not dropping today. We'll get to that at the end of the show. But we certainly would like to see that so that we could increase affordability. Inventory would also help this out. Okay, let's go to the most and least affordable markets in the fourth quarter. The top 5 affordable housing markets in America were Indianapolis, Rochester, New York, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Toledo, Ohio, and Dayton, Ohio. This is for families earning the median income of $94,100. Have to have a metro population area of at least 500,000. There are 76% of all new and existing homes sold in the fourth quarter were affordable to families in those 5 areas. So that's pretty good. 3 out of 4 homes were considered affordable for a population of 500,000. Let me know in the comments if you're in one of those markets and you agree with that. Meanwhile, for smaller markets, Bay City, Michigan was the nation's most affordable small market. Almost 89% of homes sold in the fourth quarter being affordable to families earning the median income of $75,000. Top 5 affordable small housing markets: that Bay City, Michigan coming in at 1, Wheeling, West Virginia, Ohio, Elmira, New York, Elmira, maybe Elmira, I think. Let's go with Elmira. If you know in the comments, let me know if I'm right there. Davenport, Rockland Island of Iowa, and then Cumberland, West Virginia. Okay, so for the 9 straight quarters, LA, Long Beach, Glendale, California remained the nation's least affordable housing market. There are just 2.2% of the homes sold during the fourth quarter were affordable to families earning the area's median income of $91,100. So look at that. You've got an area's median income of $91,000 in the LA area, where if we go back to the area's median income of places like Indianapolis and Pittsburgh, it's actually higher. It's $94,100. Yet the top 5 least affordable major housing markets were all located in California: LA, Anaheim, San Diego, San Francisco, and San Jose. If you're an agent there, let us know in the comments what you think about that. Top 5 least affordable small housing markets were also all in the Golden State. Here they are: Salinas, Santa Maria, Napa. Oh, I love Napa though. San Luis, Santa Rosa. Okay, so those are the top 5 small market, all in California. So California clearly dealing with the largest affordability issue in America. And we've got our daily downloads down below. You can grab all of our sources that we're using and all of our charts in one place. If you sign up once, you'll get those every single day, whether you're on the live stream or not. This is the HOI from NAHB and Wells Fargo. Median sale price, we can see here, since 2021, we've certainly been on an increase for median sale price, and we're at that 370,000 mark right now across the country. And then the HOI Housing Opportunity Index is at its lowest point on this chart, which dates back to 2016. 38% of the homes in Q4 were considered affordable. Okay. Obviously, and I was just having a conversation this morning, actually, with a couple, a broker and a team leader, about inventory issues in this country. And if you look year over year, okay, yeah, inventory is up. I know Lance just put out a piece on Fortune magazine showing, in 400 markets, inventory is up year over year. Don't give me 2022 numbers, though. If we really want to have an inventory discussion, let's talk about pre-pandemic levels across this country. We're still well below pre-pandemic levels in inventory in almost every market in America. Also, when you go into these MLSs and you start to look at, like, this study here from NAHB, in local markets, what's considered affordable and what's on the market? How does that match up with somebody family making $90,000 and what's actually on the market? There's very few markets that have a robust inventory of not only affordable but good quality inventory that doesn't need 25 years worth of work. There's a lot of crap hanging out on the market. Let me know, in your local market, do you have healthy inventory? Do you have low inventory? And out of your inventory, is it good or bad inventory, right? Is it really ready to move in inventory in the affordable price points? Okay. Moving on from that'll be a discussion we're talking about, I believe, for the next 5 years. Affordability. Where did people move in 2022? Well, NAR just did a report on this. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, nearly 70% of zip codes across the United States experienced fewer inbound moves in 2022 compared to 2021. Makes sense. 2021, a lot of people were moving after the pandemic. The U.S. Census Bureau recently released the net domestic migration, number of people moving in and out of an area for each state in 2022. They just released this. This is different from those U-Haul studies we've talked about in the past and some others. 26 states experienced an influx of people. Okay, what states were the top movers? Let's go to this. Florida being the number 1 domestic net migration state for 2022. Almost 320,000 domestic net residents moving into Florida. Population change of 1.9%. Other top movers were Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, in that order. Georgia, Arizona, rounding out the top 7. Idaho, Alabama, and Oklahoma, all in the top 5. You scroll down here, and I'd want to point out Montana, Utah, Delaware, almost all, well over 1% of population growth. The numbers are smaller than some of those other states. South Dakota also at 1.5% change in population. Okay, who are the losers for migration in their states? California. We just talked about the California affordability issue. We know about taxes in California. If you're paying any attention to what's going on, this would make sense. They lost 343,230 people to outbound migration. New York, 300,000. Illinois, 141,000. Jersey, Massachusetts round out the top 5. In the top 10 is Louisiana, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Minnesota. And then you've got everybody here in the middle. This is available in our daily download, so you can scroll through this. There's some pretty good interactive chart in here if you want to go and start looking at your local area. Okay, the inbound move rate for 2022 for areas with more than 150,000 households. So your metro area you could find on here. You can clearly see here that the southeast corner is getting the area with the largest inbound moves. Okay, you see all the blue here. Out west, you see a lot of the red where people are moving out. Areas with the largest inbound move rates: Ocala, Florida, 57.1%; Tallahassee, Florida; Charlotte, Savannah, Houston, Deltona, Myrtle Beach, Huntsville, Miami, and McAllen, Texas. So all southern states are getting this big increase here of inbound moves. And here's the percents: Miami, 56%, Scranton. This is between 2019 and 2022. Minneapolis, Colorado Springs, and Cleveland in the top 5 for the last 3 years on percent of migration. We also have some charts that you can just easily grab in our daily download, including the one that I just showed you here. And here, if you want to grab those down below. Las Vegas is low compared to pre-pandemic levels. Affordable home inventory available is so, says Vanessa from Las Vegas. Vanessa, what is affordable in Las Vegas now? And just curious, how much inventory, how many days on market in those levels are you seeing? Rebecca, my husband is a general contractor. He's shocked at the condition sellers list their house at. He's getting all the repair addendums. Rebecca, it is shocking. Here's the other thing, though, that I will say is it's hard to get a GC into people's homes to fix them. We have a real shortage in labor in this country. I don't know if you can speak to that, if your husband's seeing the same thing, if he's having trouble hiring. Dawn, inventory sitting looks okay, but no updates. Mechanicals need improvements. Roof, fences, bad shape. So while prices start to look good, buyers need to be aware of those issues. Hit the thumbs up if you agree with those comments. Let me know what's going on in your market as well. Okay, moving here to a study from NAR, another study from NAR. We've got some good news for the young people. Basement living no more. Young adults are on the move. NAR reported a decline in the share of young adults aged 25 to 34 living with family members to save money from 17.8% to 15.6% in 2022. Now, listen, this is a good move for, right now, like what we're seeing here recently, but definitely not in comparison to historic numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart here. Share of young adults age 25 to 34 living at home. Yep, we got a nice little drop here. Still considerably high at any point in the last 60 years where we are today. So because of housing affordability, because of inventory, a lot of young adults are still living at home, ages 25 to 34. Okay, those boomers that had these kids over here, they were below 10%. Less than 10% of boomers were living at home with their parents. Maybe because parents were just a little bit, more rough around the edges back then. 18, get the heck out of my house. Go figure it out, right? We'd love to see this number obviously drop down, more people be able to partake in home ownership. We know that that's the fastest way to wealth generation. This, just pointing this out here, and when we look at 2002 to 4, this was the run up, right? So this number dropped up. This was the run up last time, and then obviously the market went this way, and then this number has just continued to go up year over year since then. And we've got a couple other data points here. Prior living arrangement of recent first-time home buyers. Okay, so meaning, were they renting? A first-time home buyer, were they renting before they went out and bought, or were they just going right from living at home into buying a house? Lived with parents, relatives, or friends, owned a previous residence, or rented an apartment or a house. Okay, so the majority of first-time home buyers, going all the way back to 1989, are renters first. The majority of first-time home buyers are renting an apartment. So if you want to find where people are likely to buy next, they're likely living in one of the apartment complexes in your community. First-time buyer, prior living situation by household composition. Again, married couples, single women, single men, and unmarried couples all overwhelmingly rented an apartment or a house before buying their first house. Unfortunately, I believe that too many of those renters are going to continue to make decisions based on the next 12 months affordability. Government has made it so easy for uh, developers to go build multifamily, which if you just look on, my cost of rent to my cost of buying over the next 12 months, not long-term value of buying, but if you're somebody who's just focused on the next 12 months, and it's like, where am I going to save more money, from February to February? Is it going to be renting or buying? Well, it's going to be renting in a lot of areas right now because of the abundance of building that we have in this country right now on multifamily. It's been really easy for developers to get multifamily, as opposed to developers and builders to build out affordable single family units. So when you have this much supply that's going to be hitting the market in 2023, more renters are going to say, you know what, I'm just going to keep renting. And so we're like actually incentivizing, padding the pockets of multifamily developers, and then incentivizing people to continue to rent as opposed to become homeowners. We need some real policy changes in the direction of affordable housing, affordable condos that you own, as opposed to making those decisions month by month to continue to rent. Okay, I mentioned the 10-year yesterday, or at the beginning of the show here. And yesterday, interestingly enough, we had, when we were watching the 10-year go up, and it was fluctuating, a little volatile yesterday. We also saw 3 different mortgage 30-year fixed mortgage reads. It went all the way down to 6.3, which would have been the lowest read of the week, 6.32. Then it went to 6.39, but it finished yesterday, the 30-year fixed, after the volatility in the 10-year, at 6.45. So now for the week, we've been between 6.39 on the 30-year fixed and 6.45. We've been consistent all week, but consistently where we don't want to be. Let's take a look at where the 10-year is today to give us some indication of where this 30-year fix might come in. We may be over 6.5 as we close out the week and go into Monday, folks, on the 30-year fixed. The 10-year yield is ticking up. That's not good news for the mortgage read, the 30-year fixed mortgage read, as it comes out later today. All right. If you haven't downloaded the AI Tools for Real Estate Agents ebook, it's down below. It's 38 pages. There's a ridiculous offer inside of that ebook as well. The ebook's completely free. Make sure you go and do that. We've collabed with Chris Smith. We've had thousands of downloads. It is by far the best AI ebook in the real estate industry of all time. Make sure you go and get that. And then later today, 2:00 p.m. Eastern, over on Knowledge Brokers Podcast YouTube channel. So at Knowledge Brokers Podcast, myself and Tom Toole are going to be digging into inventory in a significant way and what's going on and how many years we think we're going to have an inventory issue in this country. So make sure you go subscribe to that channel and check out that show premiering today at 2:00. That is all, folks. Week 5 is in the books. Really appreciate you guys being on this journey with us. We'll be back Monday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with all of you. And until then, toodaloo.